Hi, welcome back to my channel. And if this is the first time that you've watched any of my videos, I hope you stay around and have a look at the other videos that I've made. What I focus on is psychological well-being. And this particular video is about how the concept of abundance and living an abundant life is all about mindset. Have you ever noticed how two people can be in exactly the same financial situation? Person A can be very worried and very stressed about it, and person B feels at ease, excited about what is possible. The difference isn't about income, it's not about money in people's bank account, it's not about privilege or luck even. It's about the mindset, the attitude that you bring to it. So it's about how you think about money, how you relate to it, and how you believe it can show up in your life. Now, yes, I am aware that if you've had a life of hardship, your experience has probably been lack, which contributes to having scarcity beliefs. But I would love you just to consider if you can change that. Regardless of what has gone before, you can decide today to think differently, to think about possibility rather than limitation. And it will take some practice, but it is absolutely doable, as I know, because my background was one of scarcity. I was born in the late 50s. I grew up in the 60s in rented accommodation that was dark, damp. By the time I was 10, we were a single parent household. And, I watched my mum struggle to pay bills. I watched my mum hiding from the rent man. And so, of course, that influenced my mindset growing up. And that mindset then went on to create the reality that I experienced. And my relationship with money was always fearful. And the reason why I want to talk about it now is that I know that it is possible to transform it. So ask yourself, do you often feel like there's never enough to go around? And this question requires you to be honest. No one else is watching. Do you worry ever that if someone else succeeds, that means there's less opportunity for you? Do you find yourself just reflexively saying, oh, I can't afford that, rather than saying, how can I create a situation? How can I create the circumstances where I could afford it? And do you ever feel guilty about spending money on yourself? I know I did for a long, long time. And I'm not suggesting that if you are on a very limited income, you should go out and splurge on things. Not at all. But it's about removing the guilt if you choose to buy something in the supermarket that isn't the own brand. And you can start small there because you're giving that attention. You're changing your behavior towards money. You're saying, in effect, I deserve to have a decent cup of tea. So if you behave from a scarcity mindset, you deny yourself. So that scarcity mindset is a very common one when it comes to money. And you are not alone. Many of us were raised in scarcity. How many times have you heard from your parents, from your grandparents. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard for everything. You should be grateful what you have and not ask for more. And whilst gratitude is very important, it is crucial, these messages often make us feel that money is something we should have to grasp onto tightly, as if it's a finite resource that could run out in any moment. But the truth is, money is not limited. There is always more money being created, circulated, exchanged. The amount of money in the world today is more than ever before, and it will keep growing. Now, yes, reality check. I'm very aware that there is staggering inequality in the world, and I'm not going to debate that because that is an observable fact. What I'm talking about is things that you can change in your world, in your life, by adjusting your mindset, turning the kaleidoscope so that you are leaving the scarcity mindset behind and developing a mindset of possibility, which is one of the first steps to shifting to an abundant mindset. Abundance is about recognizing that there are opportunities everywhere. There is enough. There really is enough for you, for me, for others, enough to be shared and expanded. When we believe money is scarce, we act from fear. And when we act from fear, we make decisions which keep us stuck. Scarcity thinking leads us to playing small. You don't go after new opportunities because you don't believe they'll work out. For many people who are self-employed, it involves undercharging from your work. Common belief amongst coaches and therapists is people won't pay. People won't pay that much for my work. So you stay undervalued because you're undervaluing yourself. You also avoid financial growth. You don't invest. You don't explore new income streams because you're too focused on not losing what you have. And that can lead to resentment of other people's success. Instead of being inspired, you feel like their gain is your loss. But when you make that shift to an abundant mindset, your entire perspective changes. Instead of fear, you start thinking, what's possible? And there are three key shifts that you could make today. Firstly, change your language around money. The words we use shape our reality. So, as I mentioned earlier, instead of saying, I can't afford that, try, how can I create the money for that? Instead of, oh, there's never enough, try, there's always more money. Where that came from. And instead of, oh, I'm so bad with money, try, I'm learning to manage my money in ways that support me. Notice how different this feels. Subtle, yes, but actually powerful. Your brain listens to what you tell it. And the more you reinforce possibility rather than lack, the more opportunities you will see. And of course, abundance isn't just about money. It's so important that we expand our concept of abundance. It's about relationships, opportunities, experiences, time, ideas, skills. And when you expand your view of abundance, you can see that you live an abundant life, whatever is in your bank account. Because when you start seeing abundance in all areas of your life and being grateful for abundance in all areas of your life, money starts to flow more easily too. So ask yourself, where am I already wealthy? Is it with my friends? Is it with the experiences that I've got? Where do I already have more than enough? And there will be areas. What skills, connections, resources do I have that could actually lead to more income? When you realize that you already are abundant in so many ways, you stop feeling like you have to hold tight onto money for fear of it leaving. You start trusting that more is always available. And scarcity tells us that someone else's success means less for us, whereas abundance tells us that someone else's success means more is possible for all of us. So celebrate the successes of your friends, of your colleagues. No longer see people as competition. Start seeing it as proof that what you want is achievable. If they can, so can you. And that is a truth. Maybe ask yourself, how can I collaborate? How can I learn from them? How can I contribute to this shared abundance? So here's your challenge. For the next 24 hours, catch yourself in scarcity thinking. Notice when you say things like, that's not enough, or I can't. And when you do, pause and reframe it. Shift to a question or a statement about possibilities. And so let me know how you go on shifting your mindset to an abundant mindset. What's one belief about money you're working on challenging? Journal. Journaling is so helpful. And if you want, I've got a link to my 14-day journaling program, which isn't specifically about money, but it is helpful in developing that practice. And I've also got an audio program on living gratefully. And I tell you, if you develop a gratitude practice, you will feel like you're living an abundant life. And you will then live an abundant life. So if this resonated with you, please do subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I'd love it if you like the video and comment. And the next video in this series is going to be about clearing limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. So hope to see you there.